Welcome back to your regularly scheduled programming. Tim, how you doing?
I'm good. Like it was great being on Gnomes, Politics, and Cannibalism.
Yeah, you enjoy that?
Yeah, I mean, I was just really happy to unexpectedly bring cannibalism to the table.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought you'd have been the one. I really wouldn't have. I really would not have.
I'm just like, hey, they've got cannibal meat pies in this one.
And none of us even thought to bring cannibalism up before that. So, good on you,
You know,
Tim. We
had we thought
forgot.
up
So,
gnomes?
oh, we talked about Alex fucking Domes at some point. I mean, that's just
Oh yeah, that's gotta be like a given.
it's just gonna come out. It just happens. Like there's not really even that much intention behind it anymore. It just comes up somehow. It always comes up. Always comes up.
Or when it comes to Alex and gnomes, comes a lot.
And I see you're getting the spirit of it. But Tim, so we got some first look images of Callisto Protocol yesterday.
Ooh, that sounds like it's gonna be good just based on the name.
Then you don't know what that is prior to me
Not a
telling you
clue.
about it. Well, the Callisto Protocol takes place on a prison colony on one of Jupiter's moons in like 2050 something something. I don't even remember what the time period is. But it is being done by the same creative head as Dead Space, Glenn Schofield. It is his new franchise, and it looks like a spiritual successor to Dead Space, which I guarantee was in the works before they had a Dead Space remake going. And now we're getting like kind of concurrently running Dead Space-ish franchises at the same time.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Oh shit.
I gotta wonder how much those folks ended up talking.
Well, I know that they're like the original, like one of the the lead art designer of Dead Space 2 is working on the remake. And then I don't think the Callisto Protocol is definitely not the entire original team either. It's Glenn Schofield, but it is definitely not everybody that worked on the originals. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because I mean, the Dead Space remake is something I think I've been vocal about how excited I am for that. And then, I mean, Callisto Protocol. We'll see what happens because it is like that is a whole brand new thing. But I mean,
Well, that just
so
sounds
far
fun.
it looks cool.
Right?
I
Something
highly
I'm gonna
encourage you
have
to
to
check out.
follow.
Well, there's a few screenshots. I would, you know what? In fact, well, there's no enemies nearby. Here, I'm just gonna send you all of the screenshots that they put out.
Ooh,
There.
now that looks like some hardcore Dead Space, but on a prison colony.
Yeah, it is. That's a good way to say it. It basically looks like the same kind of feel of game, kind of style. It's third person horror. The creatures are very reminiscent even of necromorphs. I don't remember where I'm going, so it's gonna be a moment while I kind of jog my memory here of everywhere we've been. But yeah, no, I mean it looks so far it looks very cool. So far I'm very excited about it. Ooh, got a seed. Okay, so you haven't found that yet.
Well, if you were Alex, I would say, did the gnome draw out your seed? But
I love that that's just a thing even when he's not here.
yeah.
Let's see.
I did beat Psychonauts though.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Yeah, that's that last level's a
Stupid
real
fucking
fucking
meat level.
bitch. Yep.
It was a fucking circus. Made me feel like a huge ass clown.
Well, you can take solace, Tim, in the fact that I also had a very difficult time with that, and also Chris also is just like, oh, okay, can't go in the water.
Oof.
But also Chris just getting mad on his stream too. A while back was playing that, and I was like, "Yep, I know how it feels, Chris. I know how it feels."
And I think it was especially playing it with the clunky PS2 or PS1 controls. Because I'm sure it was PS2.
PS2 and original Xbox, yeah.
So there was definitely room for improvement in a few of the systems, but
Was that janky early 2000s 3D platforming thing?
yeah,
Right? Like that,
I feel like I
some of
was
that
playing
early
Gex.
stuff. I mean, it's not like... I mean, it's
second
a
one,
lot
at
closer
least.
to the same era than games now, anyway.
Yeah, at least there was better jokes. You didn't hear anything along the lines of, "Remind me not to try the tap water at Jerry Garcia's house."
Was that actually in there?
Yeah, Jerry Garcia, who died in '96 in a
That's,
video game in the 2000s aimed at kids.
Well, who knows what they were thinking? Who
They
knows
must
what
have
were
tried
thinking
the
on that
tap water at Jerry Garcia's house.
one? They must have.
I mean, maybe he did live in an old house and had old pipes that had lead in them, and so he got lead poisoning, and there you go.
Oh, damn. Interesting. How do I get up fast enough to make that? Oh, okay. No, that's plenty of time. Alright. Oh, I found a horn. I don't remember if that's a good thing or not, but I did.
It's just like, I guess I did it.
Ooh, there's one of those. Oh, god damn it. There was a ladder I could have pulled down behind before I jumped down.
When Gex eats a fly, sometimes he says, TVs instead of potatoes.
What?
And
Alright,
then,
you're right. Gex
when a
is all
fly
over the
buzzes
place.
around Gex, are you after that old sandwich in my pocket?
Or are you
Which
just
is a
happy
lot
to see
better
me?
than. You mean I'm not 99.9% clean?
What? Yeah, I don't really get I'm not getting some of these.
Yeah, when Gex collects collectibles. If this weren't a video game, I'd be on my way to prison.
Okay.
Then there's, let's see. Doing the tail attack ability, sometimes he'll say, "That's for 12 years of Full House."
Well, that one I kind of get, because I also hate Full House.
Then there's, "My tail's gonna kick your butt," which is a lot different than, "Watch me use my tail to kick your butt." And then this is
That's
for
bad.
Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra?
Presumably. But they don't
Like-
say.
You know what? You know The Wicker Man, the Nicolas Cage movie, The Wicker Man. At the right as the movie ends, when the credits start, it says for Johnny Ramone.
Oh my god. Yeah, so he was talking about Johnny Ramone.
I mean, in The Wicker Man, he literally was. I don't know why, but he was.
I don't understand how some of these things get past the people that are supposed to stop these things from getting out there. Like,
well,
somebody looks at some of this shit and they're like, "Yeah, this is great. Let's do it."
I think that I think that the director of The Wicker Man just hated Johnny Ramone, to be honest. Like, I don't even think there's more to it than that. I think he just kind of hated Johnny Ramone.
Okay, here's a great one. While in the Kung Fu Theater level, your character will occasionally say, "I'm lost in Dick Dale's colon."
What? What is that reference to? I'm not picking that up right away, at least. What is that a reference to?
It's not a reference to something from this century.
Well, what century is it?
Dick Dale, presumably they're referring to the American guitarist that was popular in 1963. So that joke was 40 years old. He died at 81 3 years ago. That's how old he was.
Jesus Christ, alright.
So they're making fucking... I feel like this game wasn't... It was marketed towards kids, but it was actually for dads who were 50-something at the time.
Right.
The kind that wear tube socks and white sneakers when they mow the lawn.
Wait, okay, I have the horn, so which one am I... Which one?
Just carrying around a little horn with your little bird self.
Okay, I was like, which one am I supposed to talk to? I forgot which. Obviously the one that's really big.
Yeah. The one that's not missing a horn.
Oh. Hello, cat. Right. Just released my horn. You know, promise I will converse with the forest. We shall see if she hears you. Cat, no, I swear, get out of the wire.
Apparently Gex makes 3 different ancient Chinese secrets in the Kung Fu Theater level. So some of the words are actually just copy-pasted, but slightly reworded.
Huh.
So, anything that references anything in the East, there's like, "My name is Cain, I seek water." I'm looking for the 2 small girls that sing for Mothra.
What? For Mothra?
What is this, the Year of the Gecko?
I don't think there is a Year of the Gecko.
Reminds me of Jackie Chan's bathroom.
What?
Yeah. So we got Jerry Garcia's tap water. We got Jackie Chan's bathroom. We're gonna see if we can get some new fucking house references.
Shit is all over the fucking place.
Yeah. Has anyone seen Fox Mulder's sister?
Well, that one was at least relevant to the time.
Yeah. Mulder, like fucking... That's
the first one.
That's the first thing, I think, that made sense for the time that it was released. Early 2000s.
Oh shit, god damn it, where are the doors that opened? I thought that was over here. Ah shit, now we gotta find wherever that is.
He actually did make a, "Is that a lightsaber, or are you happy to see me?"
Oh my god. Oh wait, no, it was closer to the No, that's right, because it showed the door to like the beginning of the area. So it should be way back.
Okay, I haven't seen Blast like that since Taco Night at James Earl Jones's house.
Jeez.
So that's a third Celebrity House reference.
I mean, apparently James Earl Jones doesn't sit well with the Taco Bell then.
I guess. The difference between this place and hell is that there's no Kathy Lee Gifford.
All right, that's actually kind of funny.
That was actually kind of funny.
I'll accept that one. I'll accept that one.
Yeah, so far that's the only acceptable one that is held up.
All right, well, now we got our actual next dungeon here.
There's also in the prehistory level, in a land before time when SNL was funny.
That was a long time ago.
But was it ever?
It was.
Or was it just funny in certain episodes?
No, it was consistently funny once upon a time. In like the 70s.
Christ.
Well, the SNL has gone through periods of both. Like you've had like multiple runs of bad and then good and then bad again and then good and then the most recent bad has lasted a really long time, but
Jesus Christ. In the Dragnet, you get, like, when your character gets captured and put into a net, the character says, "Welcome to this week's episode of Touched by an Uncle."
Oh, wow. All right.
It's like, wow. They
really didn't pull their punch with that one. Would you like to take a seat over there?
Hey, that would have been from the same time period, too.
I think that actually wouldn't have even happened yet.
Oh, wow. I get it. This game is pretty fucking old.
Well, give me a year. Give me an exact year. Oh, excuse me.
For Gex?
Yeah. Give me the exact year.
1998.
Yeah, I don't even think that To Catch a Predator was a thing yet.
I'm still waiting on Gex 5. I think we're gonna get it.
You're not waiting on Gex 5.
No. I'm waiting on Gex 4, which was canceled, but it was being developed for 6th gen consoles. And by that I mean the 6th generation of video game consoles as a concept.
Right.
Which
would have been which Gen 6 was that PS2?
I believe that was PS2, yeah. The original Gex was on PlayStation. Same with Gex 2 and 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that one even made it to the PS2 era.
Yeah, it didn't make it out of the 2000s. Probably because of the molestation jokes. But you never know. And with that, folks, we have the greatest highlights from Gex 2. and I'm not even going into Gex 3D.
Oh, please don't. Ooh, wow, I cannot believe he did not hit me. Damn, these dungeons are starting to get really big. Shit. Okay.
Like, you're actually starting to have to remember, like, oh shit, where do I go from here? Like, they started you off with a fairly linear kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think I can even do anything else in this room. This is a really the music in this game is so relaxing.
Yeah, it kind of makes you want to like
really peaceful.
Just not quite get lost in the level, but it makes being lost in the level not the worst thing.
No, it's like combat hard, yes, but it's like kind of relaxing.
kind of entices you to fully explore the landscapes that they kind of painstakingly create.
Oh shit.
Don't get hit.
Did you say don't get hit?
Yeah. Fuck.
Ooh. Oh, right in the face that time too.
Yeah, he just like bitch slapped you with that hammer.
He did.
I guess he's undead, so Lich slapped you?
Lich slap. Lich slap, baby, lich slap.
That should be a band, like a metal band. Lich slap.
Oh. Didn't even get up to this door before. Living Reaper, Hunger for Soul. Oh, okay, so this is... That's cool, though, that you see, like, this is where you're trying to get to, ultimately, is this door that's right at the beginning of the whole thing.
Ah. So I decided that the game Ghost Runner
Yeah.
wasn't good enough to keep playing. It did have an interesting concept, and I'm sure if you really like challenging games specifically for the purpose of challenge, without any forethought or afterthought to level design, graphic design, storyboard,
Okay.
soundtrack, and you were just solely focused on gameplay with a subpar soundtrack, then it was okay.
Okay.
But it was somehow even better than Godfall. Have you heard or seen anything from Godfall?
God, is that the that was the is that the super
Yeah, you had
generic?
half of it right there. God.
Is that the
The
super
last part is
generic?
fucking damn it.
Though was that one of the PS5 like launch titles though? The one that looked super fucking generic and just boring and shitty.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So-
yeah, that's what I thought.
It's the one with the insanely over-the-top god rays and glare, and it looks like they put 25% of their work into lighting. They took everyone off the story, put it onto lighting.
Right. You know, yeah, I remember seeing the stuff for that
Like-
one, and I thought it looked super weak. Remember
When
thinking
the
it looked
only
very
good thing
weak.
about your game is the graphics, you've failed pretty successfully.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
It was supposed to be it was supposed to be kind of like God of War, with like elements of Diablo and elements of like fucking what are some of the
There's
really
Diablo
shitty
with elements of
first-person
fucking,
shooter
that's-
MMOs? Like Destiny.
Yeah, I do not like Destiny either.
So it was trying to be that loot slasher, melee action, RPG kind of like... It was trying to draw the essence of games, that the greater games that have come before it, and it failed on every single account.
Conceivable level.
You know it's shallow enough that when they released the PlayStation 5 like Game of the Month thing and Godfall Challenger Edition was part of it, that doesn't include the base story. So essentially they're just like, we want people to see our game, but not the actual part of the game, just the part where it's the endless loot grind.
Damn, what the hell?
It's like, it's just so fucking stupid.
Yeah, that is pretty stupid, man. That's pretty stupid.
And I hadn't seen anything about it going into it. So I was like, oh, I wonder if it's good.
Yeah,
And holy shit, about 2 minutes in, I was like, nope, and uninstalled it. I don't care. if
that's
it's
a
free.
wise choice, I think. Yeah, free does not always mean good.
Free means like
Free.
better because there's no risk into starting it.
Sure.
And so like I'm more willing to give something that's free a shot because, you know, everyone's got different taste. But poison is pretty universal. And that is the equivalent of food poisoning in video game form.
That's accurate.
Especially when you have gems like this and Hades and fucking Multiversus is shaping up to be, I think, the best Smash adjacent thing that has come out.
Of all the Smash clones that there have been, I do think it's probably the best one that I've like if you're gonna rip Smash off, I mean,
especially since all of Nickelodeon had one, and the only thing I've heard about it is that they accidentally included a character voice line for Jenny the Teenage Robot that was in a sex parody of it.
Wait, that can't be the case because there are no voice lines in it at all. And that's part of the reason that nobody liked it, was because
it must have just been like one of the character little pop-up text lines.
Oh, okay. Because that was a
makes it even sadder.
Huh. Yeah, well, yeah, because that's a big thing about that game that was part of the reason that it was unsuccessful is like there's such a lack of actual like identity to it because there's no voice acting.
But Multiversus, it has the voice actors, so it's willing to do the work. It's having all these open play tests for free to try, both garner attention and to draw scrutiny as to what doesn't work so that they can improve upon it. Because just looking at some of the patch notes in between the first and the second test, it looks like they balanced the shit out of what they had.
Well, it's actually the one that we're playing or active right now is actually the third one.
Huh. I did not realize that. Which makes me all the more, because like it works this well and it's still in alpha, which makes me very, very curious to see what it's going to be like down the road.
Yeah. No, I am there's real potential to it. There actually really is.
As long as they because certain high difficulty classes could use kind of an improvement to the damage that they deal.
Yeah.
Like specifically Arya Stark, Steven Universe, and Tom and Jerry are all like
can't believe you said
amongst
those
the
three
people
names
and like that are like playing this, they're weak as shit.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to come to that consensus after playing any one of the characters. They're like, wow, you have to like put Tom to like.
I feel like I did really well
Jerry
with Tom and Jerry.
Yeah,
I feel like I did really well.
Is good, but like only if you're decent at having
good at
two
video
vulnerable
games.
points. Because like a lot of people that get ingrained into the Smash playstyle aren't used to playing like with ice climbers per se.
Except unless you're me and you play every character.
Exactly. And plus Tom and Jerry is arguably the most worth learning because of how different it is and how much work was put into it.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so I got 2 of these keys now.
And also I figured out the definition for a mage class.
Oh.
And insanity. The mage class is just somebody who depends heavily on their special actions and items they summon. And projectile attacks. So like Bugs Bunny and the Acme rocket that he can throw, or the safe that he can conjure, or
you know that when he's
his
digging
underground
through
teleporting.
Well, so you know how he's like digs through all the box or whatever and like pulls random shit out of it?
Yeah.
So you can pull a Meeseeks box. That's like one of the things you can pull. He can like randomly pull out of that box. It's a Meeseeks box.
Oh, that's great.
And that's how you can get them like kind of in the actual match and not just the tutorial. It's like almost like a Pokemon ball in Smash. He just kind of pops up and runs across the screen. That's one thing that's interesting too. There's no items like there is in Smash.
Yeah. There's certain like, you can pick up Batman's Batarang when he throws it. You can pick up items that that Finn can throw out of his backpack. And when he accrues enough gold, he can dig through his backpack for like a power-up. But there's no real picking up that you can do outside of certain unique class-based abilities.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of something that's cool, in a way, because, like, if you're teamed up with Batman, you can pick up his Batarang and throw it, and that's part of
Or
what
Shaggy.
makes playing with Batman feel unique. Yeah, you can pick up Shaggy's sandwich. Everyone interacts with the safe that Bugs Bunny summons to some degree, and the rocket you can use to jump off of as, like, a platform.
Right.
So, like, there's so many different elements going on with any given character. Not to mention, like, Shaky's rage mode. The person you're playing with gets, like, a smaller rage bonus when he does that. So, like, the fact that the team-oriented aspect of it is really well thought out. Possibly
that's
even
cool.
more than they did with Smash.
Well, Smash is like is more so meant to be the free for all, right? Like
Yeah.
the idea of like playing. I mean, like of course there is a team. You could play teams in Smash, but it's not really the point to play teams.
And I think that's really kind of visible in the fact that when you're in a group, like, online, you can't do the free-for-all, and you can't do 1v1. You can only do 2v2. And
Yeah.
that, I think, kind of shows what they're focusing on starting out, and then, like, working from there on.
Yeah. Well, that's smart. I mean, you know, if you're gonna try and be successful in a world where Smash exists with a game that plays a lot like Smash, you gotta do something to differentiate it. And yeah, I mean, I think so far they've done a surprisingly good job. It's like the fact that they are able to do little things like that to make it not feel like a total just like soulish. The fact that it doesn't feel as much of a soulish corporate like cash grab as it could, I think is impressive in its own way.
Yeah. And, like, just seeing where they're going, like, with the free-to-play stuff, I can see that as potentially being something that, like, if they end up fucking it up, that could ruin it.
It could. It could.
Because when fucking... Okay. Fortnite has that same, almost exact same fucking bar that they have in terms of, like, that, where it's like...
Well, that's like
these are
every
your
free-to-play
perks,
game, to be honest.
And here are your... Yeah, I mean, I suppose Fortnite, I should say, is the progenitor of that kind of model, where if you
I don't
have
even
that...
think it's the progenitor. I think it's just the most successful one.
Okay. Yeah, I would...
It's like PUBG, right?
Oh,
that was
yeah,
around first.
PUBG. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I know, it's just that specific model of having that fucking the battle pass model, I
Yeah.
should say.
Is that not
is-
a PUBG thing too? I thought it was, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't recall it, but I also was never into PUBG. I
Well,
got into
I
it
mean, not me
arguably
either.
less than Fortnite, which was
Zero.
almost not at all.
Well, for me, it was 100% like not at all.
It's obnoxious that almost all of my friends play Fortnite to some degree. Except for you.
really?
I am very
Yeah,
grateful of you for that.
Yeah, no, I fucking can't stand shit. I can't stand that shit. Like, I really can't.
I just don't gain anything from playing it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, there's no sense of forward progression, and even in the small ways that there are, they reset at the beginning of each season.
Right.
So, like, I went back and found that I didn't have some of the rewards that I had already earned, because the season
that's
had
some
changed.
bullshit.
So I said, yeah, fuck this fucking game, and then I told whoever I was gonna play it with, like, yeah, we're gonna have to pick a not garbage game, sorry. It's kind of what makes me the most cautious is the battle pass model, because
Oh
you
shit!
take
Wow,
all of the
just kill
effort
me.
and
Just
stuff
kill me.
by like the people in development and the voice actors that they actually get to do the things for these new costumes,
Yep.
and they're locked behind a paywall.
Right.
Which
Well,
I guess for a
it's,
free game, it doesn't make as bad of an impact on it.
it's also like those are cosmetic things. As long as they don't, as long as you cannot purchase anything that actually affects the gameplay. I'm because I don't need alternate costume. Like I don't need to have these alternate costumes.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at it. It's not like we're in Fortnite where people were making videos about how, like, okay, well, you can get this one outfit on this one character that makes it actually harder to see you at a distance because of the way the render engine works.
Was that on purpose or was that them fucking up when they made that costume?
It's entirely possible, but at the same time, being less detectable at a certain distance, especially because it's not something that they ever fixed, to my knowledge.
Fuck! God damn it!
And there's also something to be said about what things are bugged and what are intentional, and what bugs are they willing to fix to bring in line with what's intentional.
God damn it! Yeah. Well, and also Fortnite makes so much goddamn money. It does
It's that
blow
they
my
don't
mind.
care. It's free, it's got bright, flashy colors, and it's got dank beats, yo. So,
Like I think
It's-
being a fighting game, I think multiverses will not be able to maintain success if they don't, if the core gameplay doesn't maintain. You know, like right, like I don't think they can maintain that game if the core gameplay is not maintained.
I think it possibly relying on that kind of battle pass subscription model to keep people in might work well for the first even year or so. But it has to keep releasing updates in that case. And some of what the other games that have tried Battle Pass have done is, let's make a Battle
The
Pass
Avengers?
and then not update it.
Oh,
You're just like, alright, this is the game. Are there going to be updates? Sometime. Once we finish hammering out all these fucking bugs we didn't fix.
shit! God damn it!
And that is a jab at Nick. They've only been out a little bit, but they haven't released anything new aside from bug fixes and shit, let's take the My Life as a Teenage Robot porn line out.
Yeah, well, that game also wasn't free to play either. That was like a full $60 game.
Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Yep.
You're shitting me.
No.
Oh, that's fucking sad. That'd be like Overwatch with, well, same level of quality but with no voice acting and,
Oh shit! Come on.
like, Overwatch did surprisingly well for what it is.
It was
And
like the
I think
most
it-
popular game in the industry for like 2 years.
I know, which was, I don't know. As someone who liked World of Warcraft a lot at one point in time, I feel like I have less room to talk shit about people who like shitty games.
I mean, I didn't like World of Warcraft, so
Well, World of Warcraft is an objectively shitty game.
well, yeah, that's why I never liked it.
And like, okay, I guess I shouldn't say objectively, but by a lot of metrics it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, look,
It's
I
for
mean,
a
whatever.
specific genre. If you like a really, really specific genre, then it's
I don't
okay.
like MMOs. Period.
Well, and like, I feel like my trend has definitely gone away towards MMOs because they're more of a time investment than anything. Like, that's their model of difficulty.
The
Is
fact that it takes a
time.
bunch of fucking time to.
Yeah. The boss you're fighting is time, and getting enough people to be able to actually complete goals with. And there's very, very few MMOs that even manage to make content that was worth playing when you weren't in a group of like 20 people. And even fewer still that manage to make a name for themselves that lasts even beyond their lifespan. World of Warcraft's dead, it just doesn't know it yet, but it keeps, like, with 6 million active subscribers, so it's not going to die. They're just going to put that horse on life support and gently beat it every few months.
Well, it's, Final Fantasy XIV is what's really kind of torn it apart.
Well,
that's where it's lost all its player base, too.
A surprising amount actually end up playing both.
But there's a lot of people that have fled one for the other, too. Maybe not all of them, but...
And it also kind of pendulums based on which one is currently putting out content. Which seems to be, like, the crux of the MMO subscription model.
I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand MMOs. I really don't, because I don't want to play the same game forever. Like, that sounds awful to me. Even if it's a game I really like at first, I don't want to play the same game forever. I don't. I want to beat it, and then I want to play a different game.
I think the allure of them to most people initially is the vastness of how some of those games can be when you first start playing them, as well as the community that you're able to cultivate and develop. But outside of those things, it doesn't have a lot to offer, especially if the worlds have no depth. And
when a world that goes on forever has a lot less depth than one that ends.
Like, it would be... No other game has done what EverQuest has done, which is managed to stay alive and updating for, I think they're at 23 years now. And then EverQuest 2 is at like 17 years. So they're really ridiculously long-lived games.
God damn it!
They're so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I assume you're playing this at some point.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very charming little game. The music is relaxing. This fight, not so much. Okay, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, come on! Oh my god, just fucking kill me then. It's like I literally can't get hit the whole first, like, 2 rounds if I'm gonna even stand a chance at the end.
Yeah, that's fair.
One. At least it is a very fast checkpoint system.
Yeah, that is one thing I've noticed that I've really enjoyed about this. It doesn't have as much of a punishing aspect to it, but it also seems to have a lot more potential forward progression than, like, Hades did. Hades was like, I was okay being sent back because of me being dumb, only because I knew I could get back to the same spot in about 20 minutes and beat the whole thing in 30.
Just fucking kill me. Just do it already. Jesus Christ, you're taking forever. Come on, hurry it up. I gotta get back here again.
I have to get on with killing you. Damn it.
And Tim, you've seen footage for Have a Nice Death, right? Because that looks like the next great roguelike to me.
Oh, yeah. Any roguelike game that puts an emphasis on the death aspect and how it impacts the gameplay is truly beyond its kind of okay, let me rephrase this. Hades, when you die, there's something new that's said when you respawn back in the thing, and people will actually have new dialogue and the game in some places actually does advance beyond your death, even as a direct result of it.
Well, there's story progression even when you're losing.
Exactly. So you're just like, okay, I'm okay with this death because I get to see what Hades is gonna say.
I think that's why the game is. I think that's the main thing that makes the game satisfying, kind of, almost no matter what, is because even if you get your ass kicked, you're getting progression. There's never not progression happening.
I forget. Did you ever unlock the epilogue?
I still have not gone back and done like all of that stuff now.
I think it's like once you have 10 full run-throughs and you've beat Hades 10 times, you unlock the true ending. And then after that, it's just a matter of maxing out your rep with all the gods to unlock the epilogue.
Yeah, that I have not done.
I was lucky, and by the time I got to 10 Hades wins, I was 95% of the way there with the rep.
Fuck you, bitch. Oh.
Fuck yeah.
There. God damn it.
But yeah, like, even the really, really older MMOs, like, they admitted that their worlds were shallow by doing things like adding Pokemon as a mini-game. That's actually the only really big example of shit I can figure out in an MMO that, like, they've added to substantially try to expand their world, because a lot of the times there isn't. There's nothing that you can do.
Wait, I'm sorry, which game are you referring to as having Pokemon in it?
World of Warcraft added, back in 2012, the ability to catch ambient critters in the environment and use them as battle pets. And they had little battle pet arenas and shit, and you could battle other players with it. And it was a surprising amount of depth for a side mechanic.
Huh.
And you had the whole, like, oh, this is a plant type, this one's an elemental type, this one's a fucking rock type. But yeah, then you also have to reckon with, as someone who, like, you have to only like MMOs, in my opinion, to sustainably play them, because if you don't, then it's kind of like you're admitting that you like other games, but not making time for playing other games, because you're investing all your time into playing the MMO.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, even just a long RPG sometimes, I'm like, eh.
Yeah, that's...
if it's long enough.
The only reason I'm willing to invest enough time in an RPG that's really long is
it has to be
if I
really
feel like
good,
it's earned it. And that's only happened, I'd say, 4 times in the last few years for me. Like, Witcher 3, God of War.
I wouldn't even... I mean, God of War does have RPG elements, but at the same time, I don't even know if I'd call that really an RPG almost, you know, like... Because it's only, like, what, 20 hours to do, like, everything in the game?
Oh, it's a bit longer than that, especially if you're going for, like, the Realm of the Mists and fighting your way up the volcano and...
What, 30 then?
I'd say, like, 35 or 40.
But that's still... I feel like... I mean, well, I guess in the old school days, that would have been what an RPG probably seemed about right at, but...
Witcher,
nowadays,
if you do 100%,
like
I think that puts you at, like, 80.
Yeah, I think... well, 80, I guess, isn't as bad as I was thinking. I thought...
Because some people said it was, like, 130 or 40, and I did have that amount, like, logged on my Steam account, but only as a result of leaving the game open sometimes because I wasn't at a save point.
Interesting. Hey, Afternoon Tune, how are you? Welcome,
hey, Afternoon
man.
Tune, how's it going? Yeah, Witcher 3, I'd say I spent 25 hours on the main story and then another 10 hours on the DLC story. And then the rest was just exploring the world and, like, absorbing the lore that because like they brought in actual monster hunts that were like of like stuff that you read about in the books, so you were able to kind of like
Wish I had a map.
go through, and which I do want to point out that they did actually translate the books into English officially, like back in 2016. And
Oh, yeah,
up
yeah.
until then, all the fans were having to deal with, myself included, shitty translated scan versions. Which is...
Oh, I'm doing
was
good,
doable.
Afternoon Tune. How are you? How are you this
I'm
evening?
doing great.
Is there nothing in here? Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty solid.
I'd say Elden Ring is another RPG that I was okay with spending as much time as I did.
Sure. I mean, I guess that I'm okay with an RPG being long. It's just it's gotta be
It's
good.
gotta have a reason for being that long.
Yeah, and it's gotta be really good. Like,
And it's gotta maintain consistency.
yes.
Not be like, alright, you have to play this long to get to the part where there's good consistency.
Yeah. Like Red Dead 2 was pushing it a little bit. Like, I won't even lie.
Yeah, Red Dead 2,
I mean,
was
I
able to
did
get
like it,
through,
and I did finish
like,
it,
Yeah,
but it's pushing it. It's pushing it.
I definitely reached the part where I kind of like,
Do movie
do movie
stars
stars exist? Like, do you mean as in the
In a traditional
sense that they
sense.
exist only as a star within movies, or are you referencing like that they are sometimes in like many things and somebody's famous not just for being in a movie but for everything else they do?
I also think, I think fame is very different because of the internet. Like movie stars, in a traditional sense, were these people, you didn't really know anything about them, but everybody knew who they were. But there was no window into their private lives or what they're like as normal people either. And so, like, there was a very different kind of idea of like what a movie star was. I do think there was a very
Like,
different. It's not the
definitely
same.
changed in the
Yeah.
same, like, because before you didn't have people following, say, Justin Bieber to a remote part of the jungle and then taking nude pictures of him, and you didn't have Ellen then putting those nudes up on the screen on the middle of her show with Justin Bieber in the middle of an interview saying, "What do you think about these?"
Jesus.
That's not the shit you had before. And so I think fame inherently changes with that kind of inability to escape the public eye.
Oh, so Afternoon Tune just meant like a single actor being a big enough reason to go see a movie. Like, hey, this actor's in it. Well, then this
Okay,
movie's going to be
Tom
successful.
Cruise and Top Gun Maverick, I would say, based on some of the reviews and some of, like, Tom Cruise was the major draw for a lot of people. The name Top Gun was also a decent draw for a lot of other people.
I would go see the movie for Tom Cruise before I'd go see it for the brand of Top Gun.
Exactly. And for me,
Well,
the
Tom
only
Cruise is a
reason I would
crazy
watch it-
stuntman.
Yeah, it's because he's a stuntman, and I know that all the aerial stunts and stuff from the movie are real, and that it was
He had to
Tom
get a
Cruise's
pilot's license.
crazy ass in a goddamn plane.
Yeah,
He's like
it is that I
doing
did enjoy
mock
that about him a
fucking
lot.
dogfighting scenarios.
I genuinely really do enjoy that about Tom Cruise quite a bit. Like,
If
he's not my favorite.
everyone in the air fucking force was wiped out, and they were like, "Shit, we need somebody to fly this plane." Be Tom
Get
Cruise.
me Tom Cruise. Well, my opinion on modern movies, I don't think movies are really any different than they've ever been. I just think that I think the only real difference between old movies and now is that maybe it's different companies and different sources that are are where the really great ones come from. I think movies aren't really that different. I just think that you just have to find the really great stuff. It just keeps switching source. You know, it just keeps find the different outputs. Really, is all it is.
Well, and like I'd say one of the bigger differences are practical versus digital effects.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
And
that's definitely
a lot of
the
people
case.
could argue a very different feel depending on the approach. Like,
But there's also
Eternals
like stuff like
did a
Malignant,
lot of work
where
with on-scene and like in-person shots at like on location rather than making digital scenes.
Still
which
sucked, though.
I think it sucked, but I think the environments were a bit more
no, I'll give
down
you
to
that.
earth.
Oh my god. Well, that's one of my problems with the Eternals movie is that you're setting all these space gods on. You're making me sit on Earth. It's like I've seen enough of Earth. All right, I fucking live here, man. Show me some space shit.
I did enjoy how they had some of the really remote locations, like the forests of Western Europe and like the white sand beaches off of Scotland and shit. Like, you got some really breathtaking shots. But then you also had these incredibly ancient beings having boring-ass conversations.
And boring
and having to
sex,
explain
too.
away why they weren't there during all the big parts. They were just like, oh, here's a half-assed reason why we didn't do anything with Thanos. But we're gonna do something here, even though it's against our prime directive.
Or is it? And I hate when people say modern movies are trash and older movies are just better, and they only talk about big blockbuster movies. But yeah, I mean, I think that's silly. I think that's a very silly way to look at it. I mean, you know, there certainly is an excess of certain things, but these things come in trends and then leave in trends and change, and the trend changes. I mean, like, look at the 80s and how they made, like, there's 10 Hellraiser movies, okay? There are 10 Hellraiser movies, all right?
There's how many Friday the 13th?
Yeah, it's like, you know, those were just, so like, I mean, you know, when people say older movies are better, how do they feel about that? How do they feel about there being 10 fucking Hellraisers? How do they feel about, you know, it's like, there's always an excess of a certain kind of thing. You know, it's just cowboy movies. At one point in time, they would not stop fucking making Westerns.
Oh my god, right? And half of them, okay, not half of them, but the decent portion of them had a very, very, very similar plot.
No, I would say like 75%, man. I'd say more than half.
They found a formula that worked for someone else, and they were like, well, we don't want to be risky enough or push the bill or try anything new because that might not work.
Well, that's my thing about like people talking about like if people complain about there being too many superhero movies. You know what? At least the superhero movies are like experiment with being slightly different genres and mess around with their tone and stylistic sensibilities, because the Western trend of there being Westerns all the time lasted for decades, and they were not trying different stylizations to things. They all looked the same. The tones weren't different. So like the superhero movie trend now is still vastly more varied than the Western trend in the like 50s and 60s, like, you know, like it's just there's always a trend of something. It's just what happens to be the trend. It happens with video games too. Look at the kind of mid to late 2000s and how there were so many terrible first-person shooters because Call of Duty was so popular, and so there's this massive excess of FPS games, and stuff like Doom and Wolfenstein fell by the wayside because there was just so many bad first-person shooters out there. And then right now, I'd say the same thing's happening with open world games. It's just it's the same thing with the movie industry, you know?
Like, I would say another thing
that's
that
also a good
frustrates
point,
me
Afternoon
about
Tune.
that is saying that the only reason action movies or video game movies or comic book movies are popular is because they're aimed at kids and kids bring in the money.
I'd say, if anything, you could say that they're aimed at like 20 to 30 year olds, and 20 to 30 year olds bring in the money.
Exactly, because
That
kids don't
makes-
have money, and parents aren't going to go see a movie that they hate.
That's not true.
Okay, that's not
Parents
entirely
absolutely
true.
will see movies
But
they
parents
hate.
are
That's
more
being-
likely to see a movie if they're like, oh shit, the new Superman movie came out. Okay, bad
Right.
example, because there hasn't been a really good Superman movie.
since
in my opinion.
1982.
Exactly. And that
Yeah.
was only good for like a 1982 movie.
Oh no, I very much disagree.
Alright. Which specific movie are you referencing?
Superman 1 and 2, directed by Richard Donner
Oh.
and starring Christopher Reeves.
Yeah. He did
Superman
a really
1
damn
and
good
2.
Superman.
Terrence Stamp is General Zod. That one.
Okay, yeah, I guess that is
Gene
considered a classic.
Hackman as Lex
Oh,
Luthor.
yeah. Jesus
T-Bone.
Christ, Gene Hackman. Hey,
You'll
T-Bone.
never stop me, Hackman. Yeah, T-Bone! How you doing, T-Bone? Good to see ya. It has been a minute. I hope you're doing well. Welcome in. Good to have you here.
And I do agree, Afternoon Tune. Eternals doesn't make sense because they're the reasons we have modern myths. But then, yeah, we're going to see Zeus in the next Thor movie. We have all of Norse mythology
I don't think that-
confirmed to exist.
Yes, that is Tim. That is Tim. And actually, T-Bone, yesterday's stream, we had Alex, Ulysses, myself, and Tim all at the same time as a guest on the Tuesday show. So it's like kind of a
Hey,
crazy
T-Bone.
one. But yeah, well, I see. I agree to a degree about saying that about Eternals, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think that's exactly what they meant. I think it was just that some stories were influenced by them, and not that the gods existed purely because of them. I think it was just some very specific individual stories that came from them. Because there's an Athena alongside Athena from Eternal. Like, there is an Athena, you know.
Well,
Yeah, T-Bone,
that
we,
is very good to know.
T-Bone, well, also, it's important to think, it's important to keep in mind within the Marvel universe, the Celestials are the actual gods. And Greek, Norse, Egyptian, every other kind of god that exists in Marvel comics or the MCU film universe, those are basically ancient aliens, right? You got to remember that too. They went the ancient aliens route with how they explain all that, and then the Celestials are the actual gods. Like, those are the real gods. See, but even Moon Knight is kind of the ancient aliens thing. Even the Egyptian gods are kind of the ancient, and we're going to be seeing Egyptian gods in Thor: Love and Thunder as well. There's even an image of Bast on the internet already,
Nice.
which is the actual.
Which makes sense because isn't
Yeah.
that the Bastet, the god that Black Panther draws from?
Yes. You could even almost think of Black Panther as an avatar to Bast, the way Moon Knight's an avatar to Khonshu.
Okay.
In some way, it's not exactly the same, but yeah, no, T-Bone, you're right. I feel like there probably is a lot to catch up on. I guess there's been quite a few things to come out, right? There's been a lot of stuff. I mean, to change the subject, I don't think I got to ask you about Doctor Strange 2. Is it too soon to talk about it? I'm gonna say let's not talk spoilers, but we could talk about generally how we felt about it without spoiling anything specific. But I really did enjoy it. Tim, did you see that yet?
I saw it opening night. I was
that's right.
glad I did.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's not perfect. I have a few little things here and there. I think the script could have had maybe one more draft.
Like the CGI.
Well, you know what? See, I don't know. There's a criticism about the CGI, but at the same time, it's Sam Raimi, and having kind of goofy, almost on purpose, bad-looking horror effects is like something he does. Like, that's almost a purposeful thing, and I can't help but wonder. I almost can't help but wonder if that's like something that he meant to do. You know?
I would be okay with it if it was, but it does stand out a little bit against
I think there's a few
some
things
of
in
the
the
shots
movie.
of him using his powers are.
See, I think there's a few moments in the movie on that level, though. And a few of them are specifically are prosthetic makeup moments too. So I don't know. I'm a little.
Okay, I will also agree that the spaghetti moment also looked like very odd. Like,
well, it's it's like that's what I'm saying though. Is it's off in the way that the effects in Evil Dead 2 were off, which is on purpose because it's a silly like. Right, Sam Raimi's got a very specific style, and I really feel like those. I don't know. I really feel like I feel like that's his style. I feel like it's just his style peeking out. You know, I could be wrong.
So, I suppose in this regard, would you say that artist stylization kind of triumphs over what would be more in line with the actual scope of the movie?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the movie. I think in this case, I think that worked for me more than it didn't. Because I am a massive Sam Raimi fan though. You gotta keep in mind, for me personally, I'm just a really, really big Sam Raimi fan. Evil Dead, all of them are some of my favorite movies in general. I mean, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, or at least the first two, are some of my favorite superhero movies. I just love Sam Raimi's directing style so much that I do think I'm going to I maybe will be more okay with certain little things like that to me feel at home with him as a director, you know?
Okay, that makes sense.
Saw a Sam Raimi binge after Doctor Strange 2, watched The Gift and Drag Me to Hell. Yeah, like Drag Me to Hell's another one where it's super goofy and over the top, but I really do enjoy it. It's just ridiculous. And The Gift, I don't think I've seen The Gift. I think Doctor Strange 2 is an MCU movie I can actually say I loved, which is rare. Hey, I mean, yeah, if it worked for you, it worked for you. You know, it's totally subjective too. But for me, it really did. It worked a lot. It worked pretty well. If I was gonna say, to share criticisms that I do have, I think America Chavez could have used a lot more actual character. I think she was used as she felt like more of a plot device than a character a lot of the time to me. And I just don't feel like she got fleshed out as much. And maybe that's felt a bit cheesy. And then again, maybe some of that's the Sam Raimi-ness to it that for me, I didn't mind. I just think she just didn't have that many scenes that were about her character. She had a lot of scenes about how her power affected the forward momentum of the plot, but there weren't a lot of scenes where we talked about her character and
we briefly get a scene of her tragic backstory,
and that's a moment I felt was silly in a maybe not so good way.
Yeah, because the acting on everyone involved, it was kind of like I was happy and then no.
I'll tell you what though, bees are terrifying.
Yeah, bees are so terrifying that
I got something to show you, T-Bone.
Murder somebody.
Link, come here. Come here, Link. Come here, Link. I got something for you, T-Bone. Come here, Link. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Oh, see, no, don't lay down though, because then nobody can see you. Nobody can see you. Oh. There he is. Yep, his name is Link. He's a big guy. Yeah, you're a big dude. Big dude. And I'll snap open this collar here so you can see the pattern on this collar. But got a it's like stained glass pattern of Wind Waker Toon Link, like repeated in like a stained glass art style. He does not like when I take his collar off. He's like, hold on, that's my clothes, man. You can't let people see me without that on. He gets very like, oh, what are you doing? Where are you taking that? That's mine. He's very sweet too. He like does. I mean, he doesn't do a lot of barking. In general, he's very quiet. He's very well trained. Yeah, he's a very good dog. He's a very good dog. Mwah! Here you are. All right. We've had him for it'll be 3 weeks on Sunday. Yeah, 3 weeks on Sunday.
So goddamn precious. Oh, and talking about video game trends and how it's like there are some really good ones that generate a lot of really bad ones. You have Call of Duty, which the first three, as I think those were some of like Call of Duty was actually really decent in those days, and I think the single player campaigns
I'd even be willing to give you a 4.
Up. The fourth one as well.
I'd maybe give you the first 4 even.
Yeah, and like my experience with those is I played the first 2, and then I didn't have a system for a while, and then when I played one like 6 or 7 years later, it was like, what?
Yeah, Call of Duty is I don't like Call of Duty. I mean, I don't even like the original couple of games because I just don't care. I'm just not a big fan of the kind of modern military type stuff in general. But
the only reason I liked those 2 were because it was kind of like set in the World War II setting, and it kind of went into the mindset.
There's interesting
of, like,
stuff.
What
too.
is
there
it
is.
like from the standpoint of one of those people that was involved in the earliest days of modern warfare?
Oh, wait, what was the question, T-Bone? I'm sorry. I don't remember if I answered it.
3 weeks ago this Sunday.
Oh, the dog? Oh, yeah, 3 weeks, yeah, okay. Unless there was a different question I missed, but yeah, 3 weeks ago Sunday. Oh, man, he shot me in the face. I have not played Disco Elysium, although I have heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about it. Okay, cool. But no, just to tee off Doctor Strange, though, I did really enjoy it, though, overall. I think it's the best movie in Phase 4 by a mile. Fuck, alright, just take me out then. Let's start that over. Yeah, I really do think it's the best movie in Phase 4 by a significant margin. Anyway, Tim, if you would like to continue with the video game trends.
But I was saying,
Yeah,
even the starters
a
of
little
the
bit.
trend, the good games, they spawn a lot of terrible games, like Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborville, or Garden Warfare 1 and 2.
Oh god, I cannot believe what they've done to the Plants vs. Zombies. Like, that was a fun little, like, strategy game.
Yeah, it turned this fun little, arguably what would now be considered a mobile-style strategy game. Then, I forgot, I want to say PopCap.
Yep, got bought by
what
EA.
they ended up fucking doing to it. They were like, alright,
Well,
let's add
EA bought them
longevity
and
to this
forced them
longest
to do
one
it.
with microtransactions. And then they were like, okay, let's
Let's make it
Garden
Call of Duty.
Warfare. And that, at its little base, was actually a little adorable. And I was like, you know, if I'm going to play a first-person shooter and it's made decent, I'll play it. And then I tried it. And they couldn't even be bothered to make it work as good as a bad Call of Duty game.
Oh my
And,
god, there's so many enemies.
I feel like that happened with open world as well. Like you get
Oh, yeah,
Witcher
look at
3,
Assassin's Creed.
which spawns like shit like Assassin's Creed Valhalla that even goes so far as to
Yeah, I
use
do not like
remarkably
that.
similar UI in some areas.
It worked for me. It worked with Origins, the Egypt one, because it wasn't too overly long and like unnecessary, like shit all over the map. But as soon as you get to Odyssey and Valhalla, yeah, it does not work.
Yeah,
I like
it's
the Egypt
they
one though.
tested the waters with the Egypt one, and then they were like, okay, this works. Let's pour more and more into this style.
I also think Assassin's Creed Origins, the ancient Egypt game, also just had a more interesting narrative to pull me through the game than like most of the other Assassin's Creed games in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, I am cultivating a farm. Shang-Chi could have been better, but that second half was so typical Marvel. Yeah, I see. I like for me, it's the first 2/3 I really like, and then the third act just is it's so different. It feels like a completely different movie. Like, I really think that Shang-Chi, like the fact that they went to this other dimension and all of that just got so magical with it, I thought really defeated the purpose of what is cool about Shang-Chi as a character in the first place. Because what's cool about him is that he's like a normal dude that's just really, really skillful, right? Like that's all. And so then to pump it up to Fantasyland the way they did, I was not a fan of that. I think the third act. Yeah, I thought the actor was great. I think he was great, but I think the third act of that movie should have just been just a brutal fight between him and his father and nothing else. It should have just been about that, and instead they had to introduce all these mystical elements to it, and that's where it really lost me there. Oh, nice, you're watching Shang-Chi right now. Yeah, he felt the same way. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, why do we have to get so crazy with this? Shout out to Michelle Yeoh for getting 2 Marvel checks. Yep. Yep, absolutely. Oh, fuck.
Now,
You got
Sage,
me.
would you consider
gotta have the dragon
Spider-Man one of
fight.
those open world games?
Well, it is an open world game, but it's an open world game done well. Spider-Man's a character that makes sense to exist in an open world setting because of the traversal mechanic and the speed at which you can get around the environment makes it so that it doesn't feel like that big of a world. And again, it's an open world game that can be completed in like 15 hours. That's not, I would not consider that part of the open world trend. And also, Spider-Man games have been open world ever since Spider-Man 2. So, like, Spider-Man as a video game franchise is, to me, just something that makes sense and should be open world. Unless, you could do something different with it if you have a cool idea, like Shattered Dimensions did something a little different, and that I thought worked pretty well. But yeah, no, Spider-Man is a character or a game franchise that, to me, it makes sense to be open world. If something makes sense to be open world, even Assassin's Creed, I do think is something that should be open world. It's just that they've made it too big, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. And I would say, like,
Oh, I didn't
Skyrim
watch
isn't
that
the
yet.
gold standard of open world
I don't like
RPG.
Skyrim. I don't like Skyrim.
Like, I think
I
a
don't
lot
like
of what
it.
people like about it is
I know people love it, but
stuff that they're able to project onto it, either with mods or the way that they're able to create a character that they resonate with. And it's like, cool, but it's not the gold standard.
but people
but a
act like
lot
it
of-
is. that's the thing.
That is one of the things that influenced open world RPGs for a while. I think not necessarily until Witcher 3, but I think the biggest shakeup in that genre was that at the time. And then you also have Red Dead Redemption 2 that also did really well not so long after that too. And
Red Dead 2
it's
follows
quite
a more traditional sandbox open world game, because like the Grand Theft Auto and the first Red Dead, right, are already,
and that's true, yeah.
So they're like Red Dead 2 did push it into being an RPG, but I do feel like that's still like a bit of a different style, of open world game.
Shout out to Michelle Yeoh for getting in 2 Marvel checks.
Yep.
Nope, we got to see the dragon fight, Sage.
Yeah.
And what did we think about that Mission Impossible trailer?
I did not watch the Mission Impossible trailer because, you know what? I've slowly started to stop just like watching trailers. I've really like over time I'm starting to just care a lot less about watching them at all. Because I'm going to see the Mission Impossible movies. I'm going to. The stunts in them are always, at least most of the time, really great. Like, it's a movie I know I'm going to see, and I feel like it'd just be more interesting to not know anything going in. I don't know. Shit.
All right. Here,
Comes out next year.
Recently,
Nice.
I
Yeah.
got to see the movie
Haley
Men.
Atwell is in it. Oh, you saw Men? Nice, dude. Yeah, that's a. Ooh. Did you know that Alex Garland, who also directed Ex Machina and Annihilation, he changed the ending of Men based on Attack on Titan. Like, he had a different ending and he changed it to what it actually ended up being based on Attack on Titan.
See, now, having seen the ending, I can kind of see that a little bit, but also, I would have been okay with seeing what that other ending could have been. Without saying any spoilers, I thought the movie was going fairly even keel until about 4/5 of the way through, where it just completely shifted tones into something else.
Well, that's
Like-
often what A24 movies do.
That's true, but I'm not totally put off by body horror as a genre.
Oh, I
but
love
feel
body
like-
horror.
I feel like
Cronenberg, bro.
wasn't- Oh yeah. Well, and have you seen the trailer? Well, you just said the thing about trailers, but the movie for the new Cronenberg movie came out.
Yeah, I saw that there was a trailer, but I did not actually see the trailer.
I
Sorry.
forget the exact name of this movie.
I saw someone made a video about men being too woke. Huh. I don't see it, but yeah, I don't see it. Like there are things sometimes where I'm like, yeah, there's stuff that I find to be woke and annoying in a woke way, but I don't think that's one of them. I definitely don't think that's one of
definitely
them.
don't, because I think if you're going to make a horror movie where the sense of horror is drawn mostly from the everyday experiences of a woman and how they could possibly put you in a
Oh,
horror
Jesus.
movie setting just by their existence.
I like glitched the menu into not being closable somehow. Oh shit! And I changed the how did I change the language?
Like,
Oh Jesus Christ! What just happened?
well,
Okay.
parlez-vous français, bitch?
Oh, yeah, apparently. Okay. Did that? Yeah, hold on. Let me. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now it's all normal. Let's see. Sorry, I missed some chat there. Yeah, I feel like it's not a rated M for immaturity stream unless Sage mentions Attack on Titan. True. I have to finish AOT. Yes, you should. Did you see Everything Everywhere All at Once? Not yet, but I want to. T-Bone, also, yes. Also, you should finish it. The very final set of episodes will be coming out next year. I don't know exactly, but most likely starting in January. So, I mean, hey, it's final set of episodes. That was a crazy experience. Did you all see Titan? Titan? I'm not sure what you're I'm not sure what that is, actually. Hey, and now we have bombs, too, which means we could destroy
Nice.
those. Now we don't have to use... Yeah, I'll probably end up seeing Everything Everywhere All at Once at home. Or I'll probably end up watching it at home instead of...
When
There's
I
a
went to
movie
go see
where a
Men,
movie get pregnant by a car? What?
What?
Yeah, what? Is that the movie with the car? Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, okay. A body horror drama film written and directed by Julia Ducournau.
Yeah, I didn't even know about this. All right. Oh, I'm in. I'm in. It sounds like some weird shit, and I like weird shit, so. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely look. Oh, it's on Hulu.
So, the one-sentence
Titne.
tagline
Is that right?
it's a French-Belgian co-production.
Oh, goddamn
starring
French.
Agatha
No, I'm kidding.
Roussel. And, let's see, she's a woman who, after
Okay.
being injured in a car accident as a child, has a titanium plate fitted into her head, starting her passion towards cars.
Okay. They're in for a ride.
Reading something completely,
Oh, shit.
just fucking.
Goddamn French.
Okay, I did read it. I read the plot. Other than saying "goddamn French" and she falls in love with a car, that's like, and it's body horror. So just take with that what you will.
All right. We'll see. I'm skeptical of the French.
I'll definitely be skeptical of the French because they do weird, dumb, nonsensical shit and then they call it art.
You know, you could only call it champagne if you're in France. Fucking snobs. That's a real thing. That's a real rule they have.
Holy crap. Crimes of the Future is the new Cronenberg movie.
Crimes of the future. That's right. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure it's. How could people say
And-
modern movies are trash when you have movies like Men, Titan? Yeah, no. People don't know what they're talking about. But what? Well, okay. I'll tell you what it is. What it is that. Oh shit! I fell off the side again. What it is that everybody thinks that things were better when they were younger because that's just how the human brain perceives time and just understands things, and especially when it comes to people's childhood, people just imagine that things were better when they were younger because they only remember the good parts of their childhood, and they don't remember what it was like, what the bad things going on at the time were. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is. People just don't. They just don't think about the bad. See, that wasn't the boss fight, though. So is there not... Hold on. Oh, and now we can do this. Okay. Oh, wait. But... Yeah, it's just... Yeah, people just remember things as being better because... I have an interesting thing to tell you about Paris. Did you know that there's a psychological affliction that, and I think it as I understand it, it generally only affects Japanese people, and the reason for that is because Paris and France, and Paris specifically, is so. Paris is so romanticized in Japanese culture that there's an actual psychological condition that only afflicts Japanese people when they go to France and see how not as nice as they thought it was. It turned out to be. Like and it is such an extreme difference between how it's depicted in art in Japan and what it really is, that there's an actual psychological condition that Japanese people get because Paris is so much worse than they think it will be. I'm 100% serious about that. Is that the same as when Americans go to Disneyland? I've never heard of that, but I mean, maybe.
As someone who's been to Disneyland, both as a small child and then once again as an adult because it was free and I was stoned with nothing else to do. Yeah, it's.
I like the
can
honesty,
see that.
though.
I can definitely see that.
I mean, even as a child, I never had any. I never imagined that Disneyland was very nice, though.
One
so.
second.
No worries, Tim. I never imagined Disneyland being that nice. So maybe that's just a me thing, but. Let's see. I've never been to Disneyland. Me neither, and I don't know if I really care to be honest. I would also recommend The Worst Person in the World and Drive My Car. I will put those on my list.
So yeah, as
Always
people
interested
describe
in your
Disneyland as the happiest
sorry.
place on Earth, I think it's the saddest place on Earth because it's capitalism embodied. Like, it's a company with its own city code, with its own municipality.
Japanese. Okay.
In both of the places that it exists,
Oh, dude, it
they
has
each have their
self-governing
own-
rights.
yeah, they're completely self-governing to the point where
Well, in
Florida
Disneyland, anyway.
actively tried to take away Disney's status, but then Disney levied Florida's standing debt with them that is over $1 billion at
Oh,
this
wait, that's
point.
slid back here.
And so the governor was like, let's get rid of Disney, fuck them, let's stop giving them all this free shit. And they're like, yeah, well, we're actually giving you free shit because you've been taking loans out against our municipality for decades.
How do I get around
so,
here?
No.
Oh, shit. How do I...
But yeah,
Is that just to this?
Disney
Oh, okay, yeah, it is.
Disney theme parks are just a big old practice
Never
in
mind.
fucking how big can a corporation really get, and how much power can they actually hold. And
Disney
I didn't
alone
see
us
that as a
all
kid.
someday.
I was like colors and fucking bright lights and souvenirs. Oh my! And as an adult, I did get a little sad.
You know, it's kind of amazing because the more I talk to almost anyone, the more I realized how just cynical and jaded I was as a child. Because I was like, the more I'm just like, God damn, I was like a dark kid because I was
Like-
thinking about this stuff even then.
That is kind of funny.
I mean,
Like-
I was also watching like Tales from the Crypt at like 6 years old, so.
They were like, "Oh, hey Tim, your dad died. Want to go to Disneyland?" And as a result, I don't remember a lot of it. But as a result, also, I do have the frame of reference that as you age and become more aware, or as you just gain awareness of what Disney actually is, happiest place on earth becomes more of a sales tagline and less of something within any realm of feasibility.
Yeah. That's accurate.
Is that a new weapon, possibly?
The bomb?
No, the hammer.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forget there's a delay in the stream. I was gonna say like, yeah, no, that's definitely a new weapon.
That's
I also
great.
having this bomb opens up so many places that we couldn't go through before.
Let's see. A couple of things I've been doing, going back and playing through the PlayStation Plus games to see what was worth playing and what wasn't.
I played all of them that I wanted to, like when they first came out. So I was like, eh.
I definitely lag on, like, I'll pick them up, add them to my library if they look remotely interesting, but I won't touch them until I feel a lull in the content that I both own and want to play.
Solo, like the Star Wars movie? Is that what you mean? If it's the Star Wars movie, I didn't think it was nearly as bad as a lot of people did, but I also dislike all the other Star Wars movies more than most people, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I to be honest, Solo was I actually think Solo was probably personally I think Solo was the best one out of all the ones Disney has since Disney bought Star Wars. I actually preferred the Solo movie to all of the other ones.
No.
Not gonna lie.
I do have to leave in a couple minutes, and I would have to be gone for 15 minutes. So if you want,
I'll
you
play
can keep
till
the stream
8:30.
going.
Yeah, I'll play
8:30?
till 8:30. Yeah, so if you come
All right.
back for the last 15 or Whoa,
I don't
525
think we'll
followers.
ever be able to forget you, Miss T-Bone.
Oh, hell no.
You're one of a kind. Same with you, Afternoon Tune.
Yeah, no, we will never forget you. Never forget you at all. Absolutely not.
In fact, my wife was watching over my shoulder and was like, "Who's Miss T-Bone?" And I'm like, "Only some of the people they're one of the people that's been here since the fucking beginning."
Yeah, T-Bone's been like legit, like was like what maybe T-Bone might have been our first like regular viewer, to be honest. Like our first like regular consistent viewer, period. Like I actually think, yeah. And then Afternoon Tune might be our second consistent viewer that we've had.
Oh yeah. I mean, we do have some viewers that do tune in whenever we're on a Souls game, but
That's true. That's true.
Miss T-Bone and Afternoon Tune are two of the biggest I can think of. So,
You guys make it easy,
Yeah.
quality content. Oh well, thank
Why,
you.
thank you.
I
all right, I will
Thank
be
you, thank
back
you.
shortly.
Yeah, we'll see you in a moment, Tim. Ooh, can I do something here now? Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Goddamn frog. See what I saying about the fret? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Tiny frog in a big pond. But no, to circle back to Attack on Titan, as I am one to do, I can't recommend it. I can't recommend much more. I mean, I really can't. I was just rewatching some just scattered episodes last night, just for the hell of it. I mean, that really is. Oh, is this the boss? I think this is the boss. Or the next room? Next room about to be the boss? Oh, okay, maybe not. There's really not much I like more. Like, I can't lie. Like, that's like the last, like, however many episodes that are coming out next year. Really want to catch up. I honestly would recommend starting from the beginning if you haven't seen it in a while, because the thing is Attack on Titan is deceptively complicated. It appears extremely simplistic at first, which is good because it gets a good draw because it seems simple. But it gets very complicated. It gets very complicated as it goes along. If it's been like a really long time since you watched like season 1 and you haven't watched more than that, I would definitely recommend going back to the beginning, because there's a lot of stuff that little things that you could miss very easily if you're like super foggy on details and stuff. What podcast do I listen to? I listen to Rage Select quite a bit. I really like. I mean, to be honest, I don't listen to that many. I really don't. It's really not a lot. Oh, that's cool. I like the perspective switching. Yeah, I don't listen to many. I mean, Double Toasted and Rage Select are kind of my biggest two. Trying to think if there's anything I listen to on a semi-regular basis. Believe me, I feel like I was on the brink of complicated before I stopped. Ooh, oops. Well, I'm curious, T-Bone, do you know where you stopped or where you left off watching? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, I don't know. There's really not a lot of other podcasts I listen to that much. Yeah, not, I mean, like I don't know. Like there, I feel like there's something that like I every once in a while I like tune into, but for the most part, yeah, Hey, nice. You got the toasted bread. That's great. Yeah, I'm curious. Do you remember where you left off, T-Bone? Another seed. I don't mean to spoil it though. Oh yeah, no, fair enough. Like event wise, I just meant like, do you remember what season you left off on, or like, did you just watch season one, or did you see two or three, or obviously not up to the most recent stuff, but aha. Oh, I should really get an upgrade soon. Sweet. Okay. Because yes, the final season is 4, which is what's on now, or it's on break anyway. Um, Granted, they also the final season, part 1, part 2, part 3. There's been a oh shit, I just did that to myself. Um, I do the marketing campaign for the final season of Attack on Titan. I do find pretty ridiculous because, I mean, it's literally now about to be a third part to the final season because the final season is so long and has been split into so many sets of episodes. What season is episode 80? Um, episode. Oh, wow! Did you watch that far? Okay, I thought you'd. I thought based on the last time we talked about it, I thought you had stopped earlier. Episode 80. Let me see. Oh wow! Yeah, so you got all the way up to episode 80? Because yeah, that's all. That's almost caught up. That's almost caught. There's only like, what is that? That's like of the last set of 12 episodes that came out. That's like episode 5 of the last set of episodes. So yeah, it's like 86. I want to say is like the most recent episode. So you're actually like you are very caught up. Yeah, I was gonna say the basement. Once you get to the basement, that I think is when the story gets like really gets complicated. Oh, there's the frog. Certainly persistent. My armor size too small, but I think I make it work. Looting corpses, of course. Yeah, so you are almost caught up on Attack on Titan, and yeah, that's like really recent. I would, based on the last time I talked to you about it, it sounded like you maybe like had only seen like the first like 25 episodes in like the first season or something like that. But yeah, you're almost caught up. Or you are caught up based on how you describe it. Would you review it for the stream? Attack on Titan? Oh yeah. It's like one of my favorite. I could teach a class on Attack on Titan. I could teach a fucking class. I swear I could. Yeah, I would absolutely review it for the stream. My hope is to do. I don't even necessarily know about like individual episodes, but my hope would be to do like a big series long in-depth discussion review with like all of the different co-hosts because like every co-host on the channel also watches it and is a fan, and most of them are because I forced them to watch it. But I mean, you know, they ended up liking it, but I did kind of get them into it for the most part. But yeah, I would like to have like like one kind of massive, really long, in-depth discussion on just the entire series, and just get really into it in like one big podcast. Kind of have that be like yeah, like one big review. That's what I would like to do. Like I said, I could teach a class. I could teach a fucking class. I'm obsessed a little bit. I is absolutely fair to say. Well, Afternoon Tune, you said you have to finish it too. Where in the series are you? Oh no, I don't like. I'm not into the Naruto. I am very picky with anime. I am very picky with anime. Extremely picky. Naruto is not on the list of stuff for me. Oh, you have to start over. Well, I'm curious. You may have to start over, but do you remember like how far into it you got? Because it's funny, Attack on Titan is one of those stories. Oh, only the first season. Oh, damn. Okay, so yeah, you're very early. No, I'm not a Naruto fan. Not a Naruto. I'm very picky with anime in general. Like, there's not a lot that I like. I am very picky. But yeah, I was gonna say Afternoon Tune. You don't even find out what Attack on Titan's actually about until like the end of the third season. Like it literally, like the twist of the show is what the show's about. Like if that sounds ridiculous, I mean it is a little bit, but like it straight up does. It takes that long to know what the basic concept of what the series is actually about. Takes that long to actually know. It really. Oh god, Boomerang Man. Yeah, but no, yeah, with anime, like I've tried a lot of some of the more popular stuff, and I just cannot. Afternoon Tune, people say that, and they could not be more wrong. They could not be more wrong. I tell you, it is a vast misunderstanding of the story. The people that say that they really do not know. Naruto's a bit annoying and slow. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not. Yeah, I mean, I guess when I tried watching it, it was when it was first a thing. So it's been a while. I will grant. But I don't know. I'm just in general not a fan of things where they. I'm not a fan of anime where there's a lot of
Naruto?
Well, there's the filler problem, right? That's a thing. There's just having a lot of like filler where there's not like a lot of plot momentum. One thing I love about Attack on Titan, there is no filler in that series.
Yeah, because even stuff that isn't directly pivotal to the forward momentum of the plot.
I'd argue that there isn't anything that's not. Like, there's stuff you don't realize is pivotal until later on, but like
that's actually very true.
Once you get far enough in. Oh shit. Pretty fillery in the middle. Yeah, I mean, and I also I don't like anytime an anime has the goofy facial expressions that change into chibi style and they over exaggerate, or they got the nosebleeds, or they got the
that. Okay, so
I like just honestly none of that. I feel like all of that is like an off-putting thing to me.
It's a hereditary problem in Japanese lineage, where they actually have thinner vascular vessels in their face, which leads to excessive blushing and nosebleeds at times when you would just otherwise be blushing.
Yeah, but Tim, do they have speed lines on their face and go, oh, and scream at the top of their lungs while they do it
No,
in
they
real
do
life?
not.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But that is a thing I learned because I was kind of wondering why, like, that was just a thing for that. The more you know.
And also, yes, T-Bone, that is most anime. And so when I say I don't like most anime, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Ah, goddamn! I keep
You know
falling
what?
off the
You could
side.
probably just skip Naruto and go right to Boruto.
I will not do either of those things.
Damn it, Sage.
Yeah, I'm just
You're
not. I'm not.
so
I'm,
intransigent with things that are very subjective. God.
like, I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's not for me. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing to say about it. A lot of people like it, so it's arguably irresponsible of me to say that it's just objectively bad, but it is definitely not my cup of tea. And I would say that I even arguably have a more open level of acceptability with what I'm okay with in anime. Like, Full Metal Alchemist, I did enjoy that, even though they did have some of the parts where, like, they did the fucking chibi thing.
And that's one reason I've never really quite been able to get into Full Metal Alchemist. Is
But
the
I
very
would say
fact that has that in it.
The like the intense orchestral backdrop and the gothic subtones with the variety of European mythology coming through, and then drawing, like, acknowledging that this is just taking place in one country that is part of a diverse set of countries within this world. Like,
Yeah.
you are given the impression that the size of the world isn't just the scope of the show. And there were not just, you know, to suck Full Metal Alchemist dick too much, but
No, go right ahead, please.
I thought there were very
Ooh, shit.
a variety of things, I should say, that outweigh my innate kind
Oh.
of distaste of
Come
the chibi
on.
style.
I mean, maybe I'll give it another try at some point. I don't know.
And I will say that they handled romance in that show very kind of well, because it was never an overt thing. It's something that naturally happened, if at all. And a lot of people are like, ooh, I think Mustang is going to get into fucking... I think they're going to get into Lieutenant Roy. And it's like, no. No, because when you find out the backstory, it's kind of nah. Or no, I'm sorry, not Roy. Hawkeye. Fucking. But yeah, so like, I will say that Brotherhood is probably the anime that I like second to Attack on
Shit.
Titan being my first.
Okay,
Or my
I mean,
number
that's some
one.
high praise. Also, T-Bone, I feel like that's like 90% of anime. That's again, that's
And I feel like it also because like anime does encompass such a broad scope of genres that
but way more of it is like that than you like. A lot of it is like
but
that.
also think of the typical average American genre or just TV drama.
Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, The Sopranos,
Okay,
6
I'm
Feet
talking
Under.
like daytime drama.
But that's not drama.
like
That's not drama.
fucking-
That's reality shows. That's a different thing.
Not necessarily, because you have like fucking
No,
what
that's a
All My
different
Circus
thing.
is based off of.
All my circus.
Like soap operas.
Yeah, but soap opera is its own category altogether, though. I would not call those dramas.
I would argue that
I would call them
The
melodramas.
okay, that I can
I could see melodrama being like its own genre, maybe, but I think of a drama. I think Breaking Bad. I think The Sopranos. I think 6 Feet Under. I think The Wire, The Shield, Mad Men.
The
justified.
Shield? You said The Shield so confidently with that.
Yeah, yeah, The Shield, starring the only thing that what's Baby Man? What's that actor's name? What's his fucking name? He played the Thing in the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies. What's that guy's name? Oh, no worries, T-Bone.
Michael Chiklis?
Yeah, Michael Chiklis, The Shield. That's like the one good thing he was ever in, was that show. Did you not know what that show was?
I know what it was. I guess I wasn't my cup of tea at the time. Like, I guess having changed as much as any one person can change in between now and 2012, I would maybe give it another shot. But
that's like,
I suppose it stopped in 2008.
Yeah, that was on for a long time. Yeah, that's like that. Yeah, that's like I mean, yeah, that's that usually goes on those lists of like best American shows with like Breaking Bad, 6 Feet Under, The Sopranos. That's usually on those lists. Not it doesn't have to be for everyone, but it is typically like that is one of the like when you think of like what's the typical best TV shows list, that is one of them. That is like you make a top 10, that's gonna be on there.
Yeah, that's understandable, and that's one of the strong things about having to be like a reviewer is getting past objectivity. And how, like, I can admit that something is not my cup of tea, but is still a classic for a reason. Like, The Shield is...
A lot of silent films don't necessarily, aren't necessarily the most fun thing to watch,
But, like, Fantastic Planet, that is an art movie that I would say...
Oh, that holds up very well.
Everyone should watch once, as long as they're at the right time in their life that they can absorb alternative paradigms.
I definitely want to make Adam watch that movie.
Yeah, because if anyone has seen the Yellow Submarine movie that the Beatles had, kind of not, they didn't have it made, but somebody was cartoon. Like, can I make this?
They didn't do the voices themselves because they were afraid it was going to be a cash grab. But then when it actually got finished, they got to see it. They loved it and was like, this is totally different from all the other things people keep making based on us. That they filmed that little cameo at the end of the movie because they asked to get put in. Because at the last minute, they were like, oh shit, this is actually really cool. We didn't expect this to be cool. Can we be in it after all?
Yeah, and that's, I think, one of the things, I don't know, like, I did thoroughly enjoy it. And how fucking a mix of goofy and serious.
That's one of my favorite movies.
By also, like, mixing jovial and fucking depression.
Depression?
Yeah, it's jovial depression.
I mean, yeah, actually, Yellow Submarine and Fantastic Planet are both two of my favorite movies.
Yeah, and I think they're both different styles of art film.
Oh, very. They'll both scare the shit out of Adam, though, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was saying games that I played through on PlayStation Plus that I thought I would like, but actually hated. Persistence Enhanced. That was
Persistence, huh?
I feel like it was trying to be Dead Space, but it didn't pay off because it takes place on the stereotypical spaceship in space. You're all alone. Everyone else is dead. It's just you to fight against the evil.
What would a spaceship not be in space? Like why would you set a game not on a spaceship that's not in space?
I mean,
what would be the point?
There was an actual TV show set on a spaceship that was actually on Earth.
You're talking about where they told... Yeah, where they lied to the people and told them they were sending them to space, and then...
Yeah.
That was
actually
that's
hilarious.
Oh,
the
that's so funny.
The fucking twist of they were never in space to begin with was fucking hilarious.
Only on Earth. Oh, goddamn. Fucking hell.
I really hate how the cows don't get staggered when you hit them like a typical enemy. They just keep firing despite getting their fucking throat slashed. Just like,
Yeah, they're
"No,
pissing
I'm
me
just gonna
off."
keep shooting arrows even though I'm bleeding out. Haha, nothing's fine.
Yeah, they're irritating me. Oh,
But yeah,
God, fucking, I did that.
It was fucking terrible. The enemies are all basically the same, just with different amounts of hit points. You get the same, your armor can level up or whatever, and it gives you more health on your health bar. It was just very shallow past the first hour of gameplay. What was the other one? Fucking Godfall, that was the other terrible one.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
there
that
was
one, you
Vampire,
should talk about that one.
which
you're talking
Surgeon
about the...
set in the fucking 1918 outbreak of influenza in
Oh,
fucking
okay.
World War I Europe. So the backdrop of the game
Doesn't sound
was
inherently
very
bad,
well
but...
done, especially because they actually had a historian that they helped reference to make sure that they were getting certain aspects of the history right.
Right.
That was kind of cool.
Oh, shit.
And like the fact that
Well.
you could like have conversations with people that were based on like actual people that they found journals of after the end
That's
of World
cool.
War II.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
That actually is cool.
And you have to like decide between like whether or not, like, as a surgeon, do you adhere to your Hippocratic oath and abstain from harming any civilians, which as a vampire severely inhibits your ability to stay alive? Or do you feed
There's
on
an
them and
interesting
become
idea
stronger?
there.
But it's poorly executed, and that's
Yeah.
what's very sad.
I
because
remember
the-
seeing gameplay and not being impressed.
Oh god, no. The combat is horrible, and the movement is wonky. The camera is utter trash. How well the game should run on a PS5 for a game that was made for the PS4, like, earlier on in its cycle, is just fucking depressing. Just fucking depressing. Not to mention, like,
God damn it.
it's one of those games where there's lots of dialogue that doesn't need to exist, because when you have as much story and history to draw from, why am I talking to you about your son, Jeffrey?
Jeffrey.
And it's like,
Jeffrey.
for every really cool point it had, there was
Jeffrey.
another point. Which
I don't
is
know what
like
I'm doing.
why I saw a lot of people rank it as like a 6.5 out of 10, but at the same time, that's like not enough for me to play it.
Yeah. Fair
Like,
enough.
it's good, but not good enough. Holy shit, then there's Hood Outlaws and Legends. Sounds
Well,
like
that's
a
just
really
a terrible
cool...
name.
It's, yeah, terrible name. Cool idea where it's like a medieval heist of a castle, and it's there's two separate teams of people trying to heist the same castle. And
Okay.
you have to either do it
I'm very
better
judgmental
before
towards
the other
heist
one,
stories,
or kill
but-
the other team.
Okay.
Which, like, but that also necessitates 8-player multiplayer for half an hour to an hour long sessions where nobody drops out of the group as soon as your team starts doing bad. Which never happened. The servers are already basically dead for it before I even, like, downloaded it. It was just garbage. That was what I wanted to like.
Okay.
Ark Survival Evolved. Fucking stupid. I really want to say more, but it's robots and dinosaurs put together about as poorly as my mom's initial cancer diagnosis, which was poorly enough that there could have been a malpractice suit. So, like, yeah, it's just fucking terrible. Holy shit. You're just like, who wants to play for 4 hours and then lose all their progress overnight because you logged out?
That's
no
that's some
one.
bullshit.
Just like, you log back in the next morning and you're like, well, first of all, there's logging in. If you want to play the game single player, that doesn't exist. And you're always having to play on a server with other players.
Yeah,
And
that's
other
irritating.
players are almost always rewarded for fucking you over rather than working with you. And it's more fun to fuck over other players, too. So, Yeah. Then again, we also did get Mortal Shell. I played it through and through as much as I could, and I really enjoyed it, and it was only like a 10-hour long game when I did everything that I could.
That's awesome. You see, that one I'm actually looking forward to playing at some point.
Yeah, because it put enough of a twist on the Souls mechanic in that, like, you were possessing different bodies, and that, like, when you died, you did lose a decent bit of progress, but it wasn't the world being done, because that shell was more progressed slightly each time.
Right.
Then we got Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville.
Yeah, no. Just no. Yeah, no. No, just no to that.
Subnautica, I did play a little bit of. I never really had the urge to finish it, but while it was new, it was really fun to explore underwater. But it's something that I thought was done really... Like, Abzu didn't have higher graphic fidelity, but I think it did it better.
Oh, I really enjoyed Abzu. I mean, it's a simple little game. It's not trying to be more than...
Exactly. But the best thing about Subnautica is the thing that Abzu just does.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts in a frame that kind of a lot of Subnautica could have just been left out.
Really?
In my opinion. But that... I'm sure there's other people that kind of underjoyed, like, the more kind of sci-fi aspect to it. Monster Hunter World Iceborne fucking sucked. Moving on.
Yeah. A lot of people love Monster Hunter. I'm not a fan of the franchise, but there's people love that game.
There's some really big fans, and there's also some really cool tie-ins that I've seen people with and like I'm willing to admit that it's somebody's cup of tea, but it's a free game.
Oh shit.
And so I guess there's that. And some of the things are kind of funny. But I find the enjoyable aspects of Monster Hunter World few and far apart enough that I'd rather just look them up to see them.
Yeah, it's not a franchise. Oh no, I had such a good run there. Shit.
That was painful. Like, I felt that.
Damn. Alright, well, it is 8:30. Unfortunately, T-Bone has not returned. Let's say goodbye at least. But, Afternoon Tune, thank you for hanging out. I hope you have a good night. Let's look for somebody to raid here before we shut this down.
Yeah, it's time for so long. But we'll sing just one more song. Thanks for doing your part. You sure are smart. I'll stop quoting Blue's Clues.
What is that? Oh, that's what that is?
My little brother was really into Blue's Clues for the longest time. Like, when I was a kid, we went to see Blue's Clues on ice.
God, I'm glad I didn't have younger siblings.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, I got into a lot of stupid shit because I had younger sibling. And I had an older sibling, which means I got into a different generation of stupid shit because he still likes stupid shit. And I can say that confidently because I know he's not watching, so he can't beat me up.
Yeah, he doesn't watch this show. Nobody does.
He's too busy playing Fortnite. And I want to say that as a joke, but he's actually online right now playing Fortnite.
Damn. Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh my god, my nephew's finally playing Elden Ring. I've never been more proud as an uncle.
Hey, well there you go. That's something.
His son isn't that far off. Wow, that's great. I'm proud. And on that note, goodbye, everyone.
All right, we'll do a little raid here to Julian Mr. Humdinger. And I hope everybody has a good night. T-Bone, I'm sorry that I'm not getting to say goodbye to you directly, but I hope you have a great night too. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I mean, solid. In fact, actually, before we totally end, let's quit to the main menu and see what our percentage of completion is too. 40%. That's also like just about half the game. Hell yeah! All right, good night, everybody. That just want to make sure that worked. It did. There we go.